Hey, what's up, Miami? This is 305 Sports Now. I am your host, Will. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel, 305 Sports Now. And again, I'm coming to you again because it has been a whirlwind roller coaster. You have got to admit that it is an exciting time to be a college football fan, especially if you're a Canes fan, because there's always new stories coming about and there's always something new in the world of college football because the day before I reported to you about Jaden Bonsu coming to the Canes. I think he's going to come to the Canes. Then it comes out that no, he's going to be going to Ohio State. But guess what? Mario Cristobal lands another top recruiter right today with the signing of Connor Lew, right? The Kennesaw, Georgia, about to be a senior interior lineman center, has decided to become a Miami Hurricane. A 4-star recruit is Connor Lew. He's 6'3", 280 pounds. He is the 51st best player in the state of Georgia and the 36th best offensive lineman in the country. 14th best in when it comes to interior lineman in the country, and a top 5 center, if not the top center in the country. So he is just absolutely amazing. He is first of all, I think one of the reasons why the Canes got him is because it's been reported his father grew up a massive Miami Hurricanes fan. So I think that's a benefit to making his decision because UM wanted him, and he grew up watching football games with his father, as since his father was a Canes fan. So he had an admiration already for the University of Miami. So the fact that they wanted him, I think, kind of helped make that decision. On top of that, as I've mentioned in the past, and it's always been reported, it's very obvious that Mario Cristobal is very hands-on with the offensive linemen. So you get a head coach that lives, breathes, eats, sleeps O-line. All right. So that's a great benefit to the development of Connor Lew if Connor Lew wants to take that next level and then become an offensive lineman in the National Football League. So what a great find for the Canes. The Miami Hurricanes now have 5 offensive linemen. They pretty much have their entire draft class could start, all right, by next year or the year after, depending on how the veterans play and how ready they are in terms of physically, mentally, the understanding of the playbook, the system, and so on. So the Miami Hurricanes have 5 linemen, right? 5 linemen, okay, which one of them is a 5-star, okay, a couple 1 or 2 4-stars, a couple 3-stars. So it's a bit of a mix there for the Canes. They still have a possibility of landing Samson Okunula, right? The top player out of Massachusetts. He is also an offensive obviously he's an offensive lineman. He's a top 5-star lineman. So the Canes have a possibility of landing a two 5-star linemen, which means that they'll have 6 linemen for this draft class of recruiting class. All right. I keep always saying draft class, all right? Because remember, I do cover the Dolphins as well. So professional football, college football is kind of all whirling in my brain here. So bear with me, folks, but I'm really, really enjoying the recruiting process. I've always have. I think it's very exciting. As a matter of fact, don't kill me if you don't agree with me, but the bottom line is I feel that National Signing Day and recruiting is much more exciting than the draft, right, in the NFL. Why? Because I think after the first, second, third rounds, you're kind of like, who are we getting? Sometimes the 4th round could be exciting because we've gotten some major finds, the Dolphins have in the 4th round, but usually after the first, second round, you're kind of like, okay, what do we got? Oh, who's available? Okay, we get him. We don't get, but with recruiting, it's like a drama. It's always an uphill battle, and when it comes to trying to acquire talent. So that's why I think just this whole thing is just so exciting. Then we have Malik Bryan, and then you had making this about Connor Lew, but I mean I'm just telling you like basically how fast this thing is going and how things could change with a snap of a finger. Okay, when it comes to commitments and so on. So Connor Lew becomes the Cane. I was mentioning Malik Bryan because people freaked out because Malik delayed his postponed his commitment day. All right, a couple of days later, I believe it's for logistical reasons. That's why he didn't pick Saturday. He went with Wednesday. All right, but of course, we have the whole Jaden Bonsu fiasco that people are wondering. Ohio State, Miami, leaning more towards Ohio State at the moment, but we'll cover Jaden Bonsu another day. I'm going to continue to focus on the Canes themselves. All right, and especially the offensive line. One of the things I've noticed about Connor Lew, going back more towards Connor Lew, is the fact that Connor Lew is a very physical center. He is only 280 pounds. He will have to put on weight, okay, if he wants to play as a freshman. All right, he will have to put on weight because 280 in that type of position as an interior lineman, will not cut it in college football because you're facing much bigger players and much older players. So he will put on weight. Coach Feld will make him put on weight. All right. Some of these guys that have already gone through Coach Feld's program have either cut or they've gained muscle mass. So we will probably see that with Connor Lew. All right. So yeah, so he's very physical, very quick hands as well. Could play the run, could play the pass as well. Very physical, like I said, when it comes to running, when it comes to the running game. If you could see, some of his highlights, his huddle, whether it's on 247 Sports or Maxi Preps, he likes to get down and dirty. All right. He does not mind sticking his head in anyone's face. Okay. Whether it's a tackle, a linebacker, a safety, he loves to put his head down and ram people. That's very good because Mario Cristobal and Alex Mirabal want a very physical offensive line. He's also very smart. Okay. Remember, the center is the captain of the O-line. In many cases, when it comes to shift changes and so on within the offensive line, in terms of whether they're going to pull or play the pass, or whatever the case would be, the center sometimes does make that call, assisting the quarterback in the process. All right, so that's one of the things that about Connor that's very good. He's a very smart football player as well, and that's what you need when you have a center leading the O-line, leading the offensive line. So this is going to be a very, very physical offensive line that we're going to see in the next few years. So of the 5 linemen, you have Francis Maigoa, right, the 5-star out of IMG. You have Antonio Tripp, you have Connor Lew, you have Tommy Kinzer, and Frankie Tinalau. Now we have a possibility of getting Samson, Samson over from Massachusetts, all right, Ononalu. And so I always butcher his last name, so forgive me, Ononalu in particular. So you might have 6 linemen. So one of these guys might be a rotation player. My pick, who I think it might be, and it's only because he's a bit more versatile, will be Tommy Kinzer. Tommy Kinzer played both guard and tackle in high school, and will probably play both guard and tackle in high school again because of his massive size, all right, and also defensive tackle as well. So he's a jack of all trades. Is Mr. Tommy Kinzer out of Maryland. So we're seeing basically what Mario's goal is, and that is to have a very physical offensive line. I was listening to a couple of video podcasters a couple of days ago, and they were breaking down, Mario Cristobal, and they were kind of breaking down who they felt, the Canes might be upset by. Some said Pittsburgh. I think the Canes will win the game against Pittsburgh. Why? No Kenny Pickett. Okay, and it's going to be at home. And Miami usually plays very well against Pittsburgh at home. So that's, I think, is going to favor Miami. But one of the arguments they made is that Pittsburgh might want to get into a quote unquote rock fight, all right, with the University of Miami. A year or two ago, under Rhett Lashley and Coach Manny Diaz, the O-line was a bit more finesse. Okay. And that's why I think sometimes, they gave up some sacks. Okay. With Tyler Van Dyke, protection got better as the year went on, but early on, Derek King got hurt because he was basically pinned around a bit. This is going to be an offensive line that is going to be feared in the ACC. Miami currently has the #1 recruiting class in all the ACC and the top offensive line in terms of recruits in the ACC, and one of the top offensive line recruiting in the country as well. Why? Because they've made it their business to build a line in the image of Coach Cristobal. So what does that mean? This is going to be a very tough offensive line that will also pass protect as well. That's what you got these blue chippers for. Why are they blue chippers? Because they can get down and dirty, right, with the best of them, but they could also pass protect, all right? So we're going to see a very physical offensive line. So if it comes to it, where they're going to throw the ball, they're going to pass protect. But if they want to get down and dirty that day, where they want to get their heads down and punish, all right, and punish defensive lines, especially those defensive lines in general that love getting at quarterback, so they may want to run more that day, to suppress, the pass rush of their opponents in general, you will see this Hurricanes team be able to go fist to fist with the best of them. And get ready, because this time around, they're going to knock you out. Last year, the Miami Hurricanes, although we saw Jalen Knighton, play very well, running the football at times and catching the football out in the backfield, as a team, the Canes only averaged about 3.5 yards per carry. That is unacceptable for a Miami Hurricanes football team. So guess what? This year, with Josh Gaddis as OC and offensive coordinator, and Alex Mirabal as the O-line coach, and Mario Cristobal making his business with attention to detail, Miami will probably average almost 5 yards a carry per game. Over 4 yards, especially. Well, maybe 4.5 predicting this year they will average. Why? Because they're going to emphasize running the football. All right. And they're going to run that football very well. And they have the running back talent and the O-line talent with the coaching as well to do it with Zion Nelson, John Campbell, etc. So this year, and then with the influx of incoming freshmen for next year, which is this recruiting class of 2023, this is going to be a nasty, nasty O-line. And I'm so excited to see the old Canes that put out these big linemen that killed you, all right, in the trenches, but also finessed you with guys like Andre Johnson, Santana Moss, and Reggie Wayne. There has been a bit of talk, amongst independent journalists and other circles that Mario Cristobal may want to be so run heavy they may stifle Tyler Van Dyke. There have been arguments made that Justin Herbert was stifled by Mario Cristobal because he wanted such a physical team. All right. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I followed Mario a little bit when he was at FIU because I graduated from FIU. I'm also a alum as well, right? I went to both schools, but I followed FIU a bit with Cristobal on the team. I also had a friend on the team as well who played for Coach Cristobal, and T.Y. Hilton put up big numbers. I can't remember the quarterback's name, forgive me, of that era, but T.Y. Hilton put up big numbers as a receiver. He was the best receiver in the Sun Belt Conference under Coach Cristobal's stewardship. All right, and Justin Herbert, they said he stifled Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's last year with Oregon, he had 32 touchdowns and 6 interceptions and almost 3,500 yards passing. All right, and a very solid passer rating. All right, so, and on top of that, Justin Herbert should have been the 5th pick in the NFL draft, not the 6th. Right, we all know the controversy between whether the Dolphins should have gone with Tua or gone with Justin Herbert. They should have gone with Justin Herbert. All right, I hope Tua has a great season, but they should have gone with Justin Herbert. And look at the fruits of their labor that San Diego took a chance on him. Justin Herbert is one of the top young quarterbacks in the NFL. So Justin Herbert, with the stifling of Coach Cristobal, still had a pretty solid season, all right, with 32 touchdowns, 6 picks, almost throwing for 3,500 yards, winning a Pac-12 as well. So expect a little bit of the same with Tyler. Tyler, it will be a very balanced offense as well. Josh Gaddis also was among league leaders or NCAA leaders in running the football in terms of yards with Michigan last season. But Josh Gaddis also loves to throw the football as well. And I'm sorry, Miami's quarterback is a lot better than Michigan's. Okay, and Miami has better players at the skill positions at wide receiver and tight end and tailback than does Michigan. All right, the O-line of Michigan's is much better. Right, it's far and beyond better. Even won an award for best lineman for best line in the country. But Miami's offensive line will be better this year. Miami's offensive numbers will be more balanced this year, and Tyler Van Dyke will have a very good season this year as well because of the better coaching that he will be receiving. Plus, you have a full season as well under Coach Cristobal, where he only played pretty much half the season under Coach Diaz last year. Okay, so that's a little bit of that. So very happy for the Canes. Okay, they got 5 linemen. They pretty much got a whole entire offensive line for this recruiting cycle. They may be able to add one more as well, which will make probably one of these guys or someone else a rotational player for the next couple of years. Not a bad thing. All right, you want to have as much fresh bodies as possible if you're gonna run a more spread up tempo offense, also with a power game as well. So it's not a big deal if you have one of these guys rotating back and forth. So we're good to go, man. I'm very excited. I'm happy Connor Lew signed. I'm happy we got a center. All right, as well. So pretty much we got all pieces together. We got our tackles, we got our interior linemen, we got our center. So I'm very happy. Again, congratulations to Coach Cristobal. And again, everybody, I will continue to try to bring you the most up-to-date coverage I can for UM and other sports teams here in Miami as well. All right. Tomorrow or later on today, because I'm shooting this podcast here late at night, I will be at Canes Fest. All right, the Miami Hurricanes will be having Canes Fest after taking a 2-year hiatus because of COVID-19 virus, the pandemic. So they will be there. It will be open. I'm very excited. I'm taking my son. Right, it's his first Canes Fest. So if you do see me, if you do recognize me, and you do see me, please stop by and say hello. I'm very sociable, so don't worry about it. Okay, in general, you will not be bothering me. All right. So, well, that's it for me. I am Will. This is 305 Sports Now. Please be safe and God bless. See you soon. Go Canes. All about the U. Take care.